is the group table after day one of Group E. Serbia sitting on top, Brazil second, Switzerland third, with a point apiece. And the next fixtures, Brazil playing Costa Rica on Friday at 1, and it's Serbia against Switzerland, also on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Richard, what is your verdict now on Brazil? Because we said at half-time you thought they were good, but... So what do you think now, 1-1?
Yeah, I was disappointed with them. I don't think they'd done enough to win the game. Obviously, they had a few chances towards the end when they started putting a bit of pressure on, but they never let the brakes off themselves. They just played within themselves, and they didn't have any wit, they didn't have any imagination at all. Coutinho played too deep for too long. Yeah, they weren't... After watching the other South American teams over the last few days, because Brazil had run away with that group, I thought these are going to be super, but they weren't as exciting. They didn't really impress me, and I think I take it it's early in the tournament and it's the first game, but there's a long way for them to go to be classed as favourites.
Why weren't they impressive, Eamon?
Well, the selection has something to do with it. Paulinho is not good enough to be in the Brazilian side. He was in it in 2014 significantly and bad. Then he went to Tottenham, he was hopeless there as well, really. They got Fernandinho, played Manchester City, he's improved a lot under Guardiola, he should have played. Firmino might have started instead of Jesus. The obvious things. The other question is Neymar's real fitness, because he is a world-class player. At his best, he'd be going outside, inside, but today always inside. Couldn't go outside, which makes me think he's not fit enough. He doesn't have the pace at the moment, and I don't know if he's 100% fit, and he's their main man. So it's quite a lot of things to say. It's quality compared to what we expect from Brazil, but he'll have to make changes to the shape of the side. And the players involved will be, you'll have to start Fernandinho. You'll have to put the first game, and Rich is right to make the point. You know, '82, Italy didn't win a game in their group, won the tournament, and there are precedents of this.
But Spain in it was Switzerland.
Yeah, in 2010, Switzerland beat Spain in the first game, so it's not right to jump to conclusions. But what I would take a small leap and say is that they don't look to have enough great players. They maybe have one, but that's it.
Liam, do you agree?
I thought they were far too overconfident, far too casual in that first half. I think they only upped the pace towards the end of that match there, out of the fact that they needed to win the game. But I thought they should have won the game comfortably. If they had played with more tempo. I just thought they were overconfident and casual, and that was a bad sign. I thought Neymar was showboating, was overdoing it. He was getting dispossessed a lot. Yes, he got fouled a lot as well, and maybe the referee was a bit lenient with yellow cards for the Swiss team, but they were very disappointing. I would agree absolutely with Eamon that Paulinho doesn't deserve his place in that team. He doesn't contribute to their overall play. He gets far too forward, far too early. He gets himself in a position where he can't receive the ball, and he doesn't tackle enough. He doesn't win the ball back enough. I'm a bit worried as well about Casemiro going off. I know he got a yellow card, and perhaps he was a little bit, the coach was a little bit frightened that he might get another one and get suspended. But he was on his own in that midfield, and I think Fernandinho would have been far better in there alongside him. And again, I agree with Eamon. Firmino, for me, is a better leader of the line than Jesus.
OK, let's have a look at the Swiss equaliser. And Richard, you're going to start us off on this because, well, look, VAR, was there a clear push in here on Miranda?
There was, yeah. It's a definite push. I think first you have to look at it and say the actual defending is terrible. They're all over the place. The two lads at the back stick never try and come in and mark them up. Miranda's in the wrong position. What we seen last night with Croatia and Nigeria is a similar incident where a defender was grabbing the forward, gives a penalty. That's the forward taking the advantage again there. He's pushed him as he's trying to come back in. He's pushed him forward so he can't jump, and he puts the ball away. But you can see the Brazilian players here, they've seen it, so the referee must know about it. So who decides like whether that goes to VAR or not?
Well, just to clarify, from the official FIFA documentation, it says the referee will always make a decision unless he hasn't seen an incident, which is usually something happening off the ball. The referee's decision can only be changed if the video review shows a clear and obvious error. In essence, was the decision clearly wrong? So was the decision clearly wrong there?
Yes, the decision was clearly wrong. That was a foul. And it should have been a penalty.
That was a light bulb, by the way.
It's okay. I thought it was a JR moment.
Who was that? Okay, go on. We're slagging VAR here. Now, let's have a look again. No,
okay.
We're not slagging VAR.
I tell you, it is questionable. What's Fernandinho doing in front of him?
Okay.
Miranda.
Or Miranda, rather, doing in front of him.
Yeah.
And Thiago Silva is the leader of their team, and he's the guy who would normally have this organised. Even if the push was there.
I don't think he needs to push him. I think he's going to head that ball in the net. This position, Miranda's position was so bad. He has to be alongside that. He cannot not know what's happening in behind him, can he, Richard? As a central defender, you've got to see the ball and see the man you're marking.
Completely wrong position by the defender, but that's one mistake by one player. The main thing is the push, because that's what the whole tournament is based around, that this VAR is going to fix bad decisions. And then we've seen that, then we're discussing whether the foul on Jesus is a penalty, but the referee's just like not having it, you know?
Well,
so,
as we've said as well, the VAR official in the broadcast centre in Moscow is watching absolutely everything. If the referee's decision on the field stands, but unless there's something, as I said, clearly wrong, he can call them back.
If you get the Jesus incident up, if you
can
call it up, I think we called it.
Right.
There's two angles on it, and he clearly was manhandled and dragged down.
Yeah.
And the ball was there. That was a goal chance. It wasn't given. Consistency is always going to be a problem.
The trick.
And, you know...
on my understanding of VAR is both of those should have gone to the VAR people, and one, that goal would have been disallowed, and two, it should have been a penalty for Brazil.
And again, this is where we're all getting used to this thing. As I said, the referee makes the decision. The VAR guy is looking at it. If he feels there's a problem, he can tell the referee. But he looked at it as well, and he felt there was nothing wrong.
How can he not see that it's something wrong?
I don't know. That's the process.
It might be a debate on the penalty incident, but you can clearly see that the Brazilian defender...
Here's the Jesus thing. Just make your point. Have a look at this and complete your point out.
I'll finish the point down.
Okay.
But this is, in my view, clear. He does really well, Jesus, here. Now, we see this from the other angle, and he is manhandled. He does really well to turn the centre-half. First, he's got his arms around him. He's pushed him to the ground, as he can't advance and strike that ball into the net. He did exactly what he did. He rolled the centre-half, and the centre-half reacted by putting his arms around him and stopping him getting to the ball.
Jesus over-exaggerated a bit?
Well, he did a little bit, but it was still, in my view, and I think the lads agree, now, here's what the problem could be. I understand there's 4 guys watching the thing upstairs. So you got a committee. That's not good.
No, I know what you're saying, but there is, like, there's the VAR official, then there's the 3, they're video assistant referees. Follow me now for a second. But they're looking at different things, you know, and they can but there is a process there, of course, and there is a committee, but they're not all going to make, you're not getting 4 different views on one decision.
Well, let's look to rugby union. We saw Ireland yesterday morning playing Australia. If there's a doubt, you go to the match official, third match official, TMO. It takes a minute, and the right decision is what you get, justice. And that's cost Brazil 3 points.
We saw a goal for France the other day, a penalty given for France, when there was a trip in the box. So they've watched that, and then they've called the game back and said to the referee, you need to look at this again. So why cannot they do it? Like, you have a committee here, Dara. You have 4 people here. All said it was a clear push.
It was a natural break in the game as well. Because the ball's gone off. We can see on the Jesus when the keeper actually picked it up.
I'm not defending it, boys, but I'm just saying that obviously the VAR official felt there was nothing wrong as well.
It's confusing for all the fans watching, either on television or in the stadium. It has to be pulled back and disallowed.
And the other thing is the relationship. There's maybe only 6 nations or plus the Southern Hemisphere in rugby. The guys know each other, trust each other's judgment. They may be here, you come from all over the world. There's no relationship or rapport between them, and guys don't want to stick their neck out. But it will discredit the system, and I'm for it. Didi is strongly against it because he believes, you know, it stops the flow of the game. But it was costly today for Brazil. And Rich is right, I think, and Liam, when they say that even without the push, where was the Brazilian organisation for the corner?
We said at half-time that the Swiss, you know, they're still in this game because the Brazilians were casual, they were overconfident, and they could always get penalised or get punished from a set piece, and it's happened.
We're tight for time, lads. I want to look at Berami, Eamon, and the job he did tonight for Switzerland. One of their heroes.
He played for Watford and West Ham in the Premier League. He's playing for Udinese now. Now, that's him with the blonde hair. He was magnificent. Worked like a Trojan all through the game, particularly early on in the first half when Brazil were trying to get confident. You see him there? He looked after Neymar and everything. Just winning the ball, getting a touch, putting pressure on the ball all the time. Really outstanding performance. Here you see him with Neymar, and he makes Neymar run out of play. Watch this. And he's not letting go. Very, very, very important player. I would say the man of the match for the Swiss coach is this guy. All over the pitch. And he's a kind of journeyman, really, from the Premier League and Serie A at the moment. Watch this. There we go. And no fear of the occasion. Here he is again. Neymar stopped him. He was huge. Huge. And again, here you'll see him at the edge of the box. He gets his body in the way again. You know, that is Richard Dunn stuff. That's like Richard in Moscow again. Wonderful. And guys like that, you know, in the dressing room, on the training ground, are really respected. He really has done a job. They took him off near the end in case he got another card. Yeah. It was a great, hard-working performance. Superb, really.
Yeah, absolutely. The Swiss, as we mentioned, have a reputation for claiming big scalps. They beat Spain in the opening match in South Africa in 2010. OK, they didn't beat Brazil tonight, but a draw, a very good result for them. They'll be really happy.